Welcome back to the news. You're watching Prime Time News at 9. Now catching up with the President, who is on a tour of the Middle East. President Mahinda Rajapaksa visited religious sites in the old city of Jerusalem, Israel. The historic old city is home to a number of sites sacred for the Christian, Islamic and Jewish faiths. The President is on a 2-day visit to Israel following visits to Jordan and Palestine. Minister of External Affairs Professor G.L. Peiris, Secretary to the President Lalit Weeratunga and several other officials joined the President at the Old City.
This is what we say in West Africa. The sun has...
And now the Colombo High Court issued a warrant for the immediate arrest of the chairman of the Tangol Pradesh Sabha, Sampath Vidana, today.
Yes, this warrant was in relation and was issued as he did not arrive in court today to sign his bail bond.
Chairman of the Tangol Pradesh Sabha, Sampath Vidana Patirana, is a chief suspect in the murder of a British national at a hotel in Tangol and the subsequent rape of his girlfriend. When the case pertaining to the incident was taken up at the Colombo High Court today, 5 of the suspects appeared before court to sign their bail bonds. However, the chairman of the Tangol Pradesh Sabha did not appear before court, and his lawyer said that his client was receiving treatment at a private hospital in Galle. When the High Court Justice questioned the attorney for medical records to confirm the fact, he said that they will be produced in court on a later date. The Colombo High Court ordered 6 individuals, including the chairman of the Tangol Pradesh Sabha, be released on bail on the 17th of October. Indictments were filed against the suspects before High Court, and they maintained that they were not guilty.
And now the visiting U.S. Ambassador at Large at the State Department's Office of the Global Criminal Justice, Stephen J. Rapp, visited several areas in the north today as well.
Stephen J. Rapp met with civil activists and religious leaders upon his visit to Kilinochchi today. Meanwhile, the Federation of National Organizations staged a demonstration opposite the Embassy of the United States of America in Colombo against the visit of Stephen J. Rapp. He has come here to look for evidence to prove the claims made in the Darusman report. He is here to slam the country against a wall and make the president a criminal of war after the president completes his term. He is here to look for evidence for that. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party is a party of a majority. They are silent.
Sri Lanka Das Pakshe කියන්නේ මේ රටේ බෞද්ධ ජාතික පක්ෂයක්. උන්ගේ කටවල් බැහිලා.
The Ministry of External Affairs has failed to identify the situation. Persons like Rapp should be banned from entering Sri Lanka. Rather than banning Navanidam Pillay from entering the country, they invited her over. Now we are facing the consequences of these decisions. We are open. That is why they can come here. We are prepared to face these challenges. Some say that we were defeated in Geneva. No, there are some people who wish to see the destruction of the country. They wish to see the state fail as a whole, not only the government. Politically, they have fallen into a poor state. They have no political future for them. There is no point in blaming us.
Sri Lanka Rajya The
Sri Lankan government should take decisions very wisely at diplomatic level, as today the country is at a very decisive juncture. At a time a representative has arrived in the country ahead of the United Nations Human Rights Council sessions is very decisive. In the event he submits a negative report on Sri Lanka, this would reflect on the country. As such visits have happened before across the world, there are examples for us to learn from. Hence the government should act wisely.
Now, elsewhere in the island, the new headquarters of the Sri Lanka Army's 52nd Division in Mirusawil was declared open yesterday by Secretary of Defence Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
Jaffna Security Forces Commander Major General Mahinda Hathurusinghe said that the headquarters was relocated in order to facilitate the handing over of land and buildings previously occupied by security forces back to the civilian owners in the peninsula. He added that they have already handed over 41 plots of land to owners and have also constructed 39 houses for civilians. The headquarters of the 52nd Division, which was declared open yesterday, is equipped with state-of-the-art facilities. Meanwhile, the Secretary of Defence also declared open the new addition to the Thal 7 holiday resort in Jaffna, a hospitality venture of the Sri Lanka Army. The OPD and new ward complex at the military hospital in Palali, Jaffna was also declared open yesterday. The Jaffna hospital requires around 200 pints of blood. The army supplies over 150 pints of blood to the Jaffna hospital. It is our blood that is given to a majority of the Tamil people in Jaffna. They cannot say that they are pure Tamils. They have the blood of the soldiers in them. We created such a situation over here. Meanwhile, an event took place to present Ranashura medals to members of the Special Forces Unit of the Sri Lanka Army in recognition of their services during the final stages of the war. Medals were awarded to over 700 SF personnel, including the deceased and the injured.
Now, still in local news, UNP party parliamentarian Sajit Premadasa expressed the following views on candidates of the governing party.
Today, UPFM members representing the government are projected to the people like old coriander is repackaged, like sugar already used for toddy making is resold. So for that reason, my friends, you should all be very careful, both politically and when buying food, to make sure they are suitable for consumption. This event was held under the Janasuvya program to provide loans at a concessionary rate to low-income women.
Now, in your business news tonight, Minister of Investment Promotion Lakshman Yapa Abeyewardena notes that Australian investor James Packer continues to remain eager on investing in Sri Lanka.
A number of forces opposed investment projects by James Packer as they believe that these projects will bring in casinos to the country.
He is eager to commence his projects in our country. Within the next 4 years, there will be a hotel that will be built. This government heeds the views of all parties. The public or the Mahasangha have a right to express their concerns if they have any. We have consulted with all of them when undertaking activities. We hope to carry out this hotel project in a manner which does not raise any concerns. Views were also expressed on the Krish project, which is an Indian investment which was agreed upon last year. They need to pay us a further 19%. The government has received 81% of the payment. However, if they are unable to complete their payments, then we will terminate this contract and ensure that we are compensated for our losses. We have other investors to whom we can hand over this plot of land.
Now, moving back to the topic of the United National Party, UNP activists point out that the voter base of the chairman of the United National Party Leadership Council and its members are deteriorating.
Yes, Madhushka, interestingly, they question as to how individuals who have depleted voter bases can stir the United National Party towards victory.
The chairman of the UNP Leadership Council, MP Karuja Surya, who contested the last parliamentary election from the Gampaha district, polled less votes than rookie MP Upeksha Swarnamali, who also contested from the Gampaha district. Member of the Leadership Council, Mangala Samarvira, who held ministerial portfolios with the PA and the UPFA governments for a long period of time, contested under the UNP ticket from the Mathura district and was elected to parliament in second position. However, he continues to serve as the UNP Mathura district leader, the head of the communication brigade of the UNP and a member of the UNP working committee. MP Buddhika Patrana topped the Mathura district during the parliamentary polls. However, he was stripped of his position in the working committee and his position as electoral organizer for a period of 3 years. UNP Kandy district parliamentarian Lakshman Kiriyalla, who is a member of the UNP Leadership Council, was placed third in the district at the last parliamentary election. Lakshman Kiriyalla was a member of the People's Alliance government and held several ministerial portfolios. UNP General Secretary Thissatta Naika too is a member of the Leadership Council. However, he was appointed to Parliament in 2010 through the national list. At the 2013 Central Provincial Council election, the UNP was defeated in the Kundasali electorate, prompting Thissatta Naika to resign as the party's organizer for the electorate. MP Kabir Hashim, who represents the Kegal district, is also a member of the UNP Leadership Council. He was appointed to Parliament from the Kegal district despite having a low voter base. United National Party activists point out that party leader, national leader and the opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, who suffered defeats at 23 elections, continues to remain in the opposition for over 2 decades. Activists question as to whether there are no leaders within the party who have a greater voter base and who are capable of steering the party towards victory.
ඒ මහජන ඡන්දවලින් පෙන්눔 කරනවා අද සිටින නායකයන් කොතරම් දුරට මේ මහජන
The election results show that the leaders of the UNP are not in touch with the pulse of the people. That is why we clearly stated that we require a leadership that could restore public confidence. The Leadership Council was not given those powers. What happened yesterday is a fine example of this. The Working Committee appointed a new set of officials without the consultation or the approval of the Leadership Council. Our request was a change in leadership. As an alternative, we were given a Leadership Council. However, the reality is that the leader continues to manipulate the party despite the presence of this council. This is why we say that the Leadership Council has become a joke.
විදියට පක්ෂය හැසිරුවීම. ඒක තමයි යථාර්ථය. ඒක තමයි අද අපි කියන්නේ නායකත්ව මණ්ඩලයේ විහිළුවක්.
In sports, it's cricket. A century by Mahela Jayawardene on day 2 of the second test against Pakistan gave Sri Lanka a lead of 153 runs with 6 wickets in hand.
Yes, Sri Lanka, who resumed their first innings on an overnight total of 57 for the loss of just 1 wicket, lost Kumar Sangakkara and Dinesh Chandimal early on in the day.
Nicely played by Kumar Sangakkara. Leaning into it, he's finding the middle of the bat. That's pretty straight, and he's given him. Sangakkara fell over. Gets off the mark with a loose shot.
However, a valiant 139-run fourth wicket stand between Mahela Jayawardene and opener Kaushal Silva steadied the Sri Lankan innings. Kaushal, who scored his second test half-century today, was undone though by Mohammad Hafiz for a well-made 95, unfortunate not to reach his century. Mahela Jayawardene meanwhile went on to score his 32nd test ton. And at stumps on day 2, Sri Lanka won 318 for the loss of 4 wickets, with Mahela unbeaten on 106 and skipper Angelo Matthews with him at the crease not out on 42.
What is this?
And with that, we wrap up news on this groundbreaking Thursday evening where Super Fighter Season 1 was launched. I am Madhushka Balasurya.
Indeed, Madhushka. I'm Meenakshi Ratnasekara for the Newsfirst team. It's a pleasure having you with us, and we leave you with the weather forecast for tomorrow. Take care and good night.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.